back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here with Liz.
Hey!
And if it's your first time listening or watching, you can always subscribe or follow. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe or follow because we are trying to get to 100 Spotify follows and to 500 YouTube views. And if you're following us or subscribed on any other podcast platform, we do appreciate that as well. But we're trying to hit that 100 Spotify and 500 YouTube. So if you can get on there as well, you know, it helps us out a bunch. But how have you been, Liz? How have you been?
I've been okay. Been kind of a weird, crazy week. As you know, yesterday was one of those. I did a little bit of everything. But we both went and saw the new Spider-Verse movie. Which I thought it was pretty darn good. If anybody wants to go and see that. So.
Yeah, my review should be out by the time this episode gets released. So go check that out. Go to Reaction Cast. So if you want to hear my full thoughts without spoilers, go check out my review for Spider-Man. But yeah, that was a fun activity. We've been now that summer's up and you're a little bit more recovered, we've been able to hang out a little bit more and just spend some time. And then you basically got to be a mom, which is funny as fuck. Which it's funny because it's one of those few things when you kind of like reminisce a little bit of your youth. So for any of our listeners, we've all been kids, and Liz is now in both steps where she used to be a kid and now she's a mom. Now, like, even to this day, there are points, maybe you can also think of these moments, where even now your mom will still embarrass you in some way or another.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it still happens. I am an adult, and my mom still embarrasses me, too. I'm like, I just roll with it, and I blush, and then give her the dirty eye, and then go back and teach her some more about something else along the same subject that we're talking about.
Exactly, and it's one of those few things, like, as a kid, thinking back on it, there for sure were things like, man, I was a very embarrassing child. Because for sure, and then vice versa, where your mom and parents would embarrass you as well. When you're in your friend groups or with your family, it's those like little moments that like kind of click and rehab. Or sometimes like, God, I wish I don't remember. I don't want to remember those moments.
I know, right? And I told an embarrassing story to both of you guys yesterday. I hadn't told anybody.
For sure. It's like, let us know, anyone in the comments below. Are there any like key memories that you guys reminisce or wish to forget when it comes to like embarrassing moments from like parents or even siblings? Can, like, older siblings can really embarrass you, and vice versa. Younger siblings, you more likely because you're the middle child, so you get both ends.
Yeah, I get both ends of it. It never goes away. We're adults. We're all adults. I mean, I'm still at each other.
To this day, you can still embarrass your siblings to this day. And it's one of those things. It's like you really don't grow up from it. You can only handle how you handle the situation, right?
You can only grow how you handle it. Exactly. I agree on that one. Totally. You can only. It's like basically you can see your eyes so narrowly, but at the same time, you kind of have to broaden your eyes and go, I see the whole story.
Can you think of any moment where you were just embarrassed for them? Thinking back now, was like the most mundane thing.
Oh, embarrassed by them or them embarrassed by me?
Them embarrassing you.
More than I can count for. I mean, we tease each other back and forth so much, so there's too many moments in time that I can attest to now in my day and age. I mean, it still happens.
But think of one moment that was just like at this point, I'm like, that I should not have been embarrassed about that moment. Like just something small, mundane, where at the moment you think you felt like you were embarrassed, but thinking about it now, like, that's not really embarrassing to think about.
Nothing comes to mind at the moment. It might hit me later.
Okay, because I have one specific one. I remember it was I think I was like 7 or 8, very young, and my parents got me like a really nice suit, boots, and a hat. I remember wearing that, just like I did not want to wear that. I just like, yeah, come on, you're a kid. Like I was not the type of kid who wanted to wear boots and a cowboy hat. Like not for a party.
Cowboy.
Not for a party.
Bruh.
Like you're in there for hours running around with kids, because you're like running with your friends and other family members during parties because you don't want to be bored, and I did not. But at that moment, it was like a bit embarrassing, just being in that kind of getup. And thinking about it now, I was like, it wasn't that bad.
I don't know. I grew up in a strict household, so I guess I didn't have a choice in a lot of my decisions. So.
And you were the middle child too.
And the middle child.
So okay. Anything else to kind of catch up or anything, or gonna jump into the stories?
Hopefully. I'm preparing for another wild ride next week. So if I'm half awake, guys, next week when we podcast, you know why.
All right then. All right. Before we jump into stories, don't forget, like, if you guys want to listen to my review on the Spider-Verse movie, it's gonna be on Reaction Cast. It should be out by the time this comes out. And by the time this episode release, you have 48 hours for the inspired shirt. Literally 48 hours. So make sure you grab your version 1 of the inspirational shirt before it's gone. Wait 2 weeks later. What's that date for that? June 18th will be the release of our second inspirational shirt. So yeah, it should be fun. But yeah, during the release of this episode, if you're listening to this, premiere day on June 4th. Yeah, this episode comes out June 4th. You have 48 hours, 2 days to get your series 1 of the inspiration at merch.tyrantdominus.com. Links down below. And like I said, don't forget to share the podcast. Word of mouth is the best way to do it. But social media, post the links, let people know about the show. You know, help us get out there more. Anything you want to add to that, Liz?
Nope, just follow us, guys. And if not, join us on our Discord. Have some fun with us. I'm always on sometimes. I'll have a lot of time coming up soon.
All right then. Let's start with the first story we found, Liz.
All right. Dollar store takedown. I was fired after hitting alleged thief with my car. The dollar store general cashier who took down an alleged shoplifter with her car says she's been fired after footage of the incident went viral. The ex-Dollar General employee in the wild video is Jessie Soto, and she tells TMC she was upset about her firing because she loved her job and thought that she was a good cashier who had her former employer's best interests at heart. Jessie, who was a criminal justice major in college, said the alleged shoplifter had been a known problem at her Fresno, California store. Ignoring prior warnings to stop stealing, she says she's finally had enough and decided to take matters into her own hands. As we reported, doorbell footage shows Jesse smashing a car into the alleged shoplifter while he was riding a bike down a residential street, and the crash scattered the alleged stolen items all over someone's front yard. The incident went down earlier this month, and Jessie says once the video was on the internet, she was canned. Jessie claims she walked out with the flowers, chips. The guy walked out with flowers, chips, donuts, bread, cheese, bologna, and other items without paying, and says she chased down and asked him to give the stuff back. When they refused and called her a bitch, Jessie says she tried to stop him with her car. The guy in the video threatened to press charges against Jessie, but she says that she hasn't seen or heard from him, and the police tell us they responded to the scene, but the guy was nowhere to be found, so no report was taken. Her frustration in her voice is clear, and Jessie now is working for DoorDash. Good for her!
Jessie,
Step up.
Let me... stupid ads. Give it a second here.
So the general manager was on vacation at the time, So I was suspended for a week, and then I came back. When they came back, nobody told me anything. Nobody called me from HR, and then I was terminated by a sub. I live in my car. Like
Damn, she's living in her car. So okay, so let's kind of before we get more into this her statement here. So in this day and age, most companies, you can't, when acting with shoplifters, they can probably mostly get away with anything. Like, and this is not me telling you guys to go and steal because employees won't do anything. As you can tell, some employees will go after you, and to the point where they're about to crash into you. But yeah, for the most part, employees won't do shit. Like they don't even confront you anymore.
Not allowed to.
You're not allowed to. Like I said, there's not us telling you to go shoplift at places because there are still consequences, because a lot of places are are policed here and there. Not like frequently, but enough where like cops still gotta shop for stuff here and there, and they make and they make rounds too. And I'll say this: shoplifting has probably increased more recently. We've noticed, at least in our local area up in Portland, that they had to shut down, was it 2 or 3 of their locations just because shoplifting was way bad. And that, you think one person shoplifting a little bit, like, oh, it's not gonna hurt anything, but you are just one of multiple people that then end up costing a company or that location an X amount of money.
Mom and pop stores mostly downtown too.
True, but it's just as far as big corporation goes, like they can afford to lose the money, but it's not that they're losing money, it's the store closing down, and that just means the people lose their jobs, and it's just things like that. Going back to Jessie, she went above and beyond what any normal person would do, literally going after someone in her vehicle. There is the Ring camera. Actually, I have a funny story about that happened the other day about our Ring camera and cops too. But we'll hold that a little bit. I should have done the banter part, but yeah. Anyways, there's cameras everywhere at this day and age. I for sure have cameras everywhere in my.
I had to put one on my doorbell.
Yeah, I have. I have a camera in my backyard and on my side thing. Like, I live in a pretty calm neighborhood, so I don't have to worry as much. It's one of those neighborhoods you can honestly leave your door unlocked and take a 15-30 minute walk, and you don't have to worry about anything. Like, that's hard to say for a lot of places in the world. So I
do about 10 minutes. So yeah, I'm right there. 5-10 minutes usually.
But yeah, but I don't have to worry too much. But it's one of those things. It's like, I grew up in Chicago, and it's like having just that sense of security doesn't hurt. So having some cameras in locations doesn't hurt. Plus, we had we had this one neighbor that was not abusing our dog, but like pestering our dogs by throwing stuff over our fence, and we were able to catch it on camera. So we put an end to that by just doing like, hey, stop, or we're gonna report this to the cops. Which at the end, all the cops would do is say, hey, stop it. But it's just one of those things you have evidence, like, don't. And they stopped, and they moved away because they did not like the neighborhood. But anyways, that's a sidebar. But going back to this, like, I get what she's doing, but was it worth losing her job? Because from the sounds of it, she woke up one morning to find out she got fired, or a couple days after. So let's see here. Let me rewind this. Let's see what her statement was.
Nobody told me anything. Nobody called me from HR, and then I was terminated by a sub. I live in my car. Like, I give the shirt off my back. Like, I'm very giving and loving to everybody. I learn everybody's name. My customer service is amazing. Like, but I can't believe they just let me go, and everybody was asking for me. After the incident, they were in rotation of a store manager. So my manager had left that week, and I asked her if I can go after the person if they came back, and she said, yeah, go for it. She's like, you're crazy, but go for it. So I ended up going after him, but there was a new manager that day. she wasn't going to report him. Like, if she didn't report the incident, then I would still have my job. But if the video would not gone viral or got posted, then I would still have my job. So
yeah, look, from the sounds of it, there was like this weird rotation that was happening with the management at the time, and she asked her manager to go see if she can chase after this individual. She quote okayed it, but said, "You're crazy," like one of those like joking ways, like, "Yeah, do it. Yeah, you're a wild one." But at the time, this rotation of managers, the new one that was in charge, if they did not, they wouldn't have reported it, or if the video of her, the whole incident been gone viral, she would still have her job at this point. It's one of those things that having a camera or a phone on like everything is a double-edged sword, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's good because you can catch injustice a lot easier and catch stupidities, but it's also the worst other way around, where if you're trying to do a good thing, sometimes doing the good thing is not the best thing for you. So that's where it's like, yeah, you're helping someone, but it could cost you basically your job and livelihood.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of where you really have to think: is it worth to do certain things? Because you never know if there's a eye on you.
Mm-hmm. Always.
What are your thoughts?
That's why I don't do it in front of somebody with a camera.
Well, you never know who has a camera.
I know.
Everyone has a camera.
You can't catch up. I just, that person should have, should have gotten an asking authority from her, like, hey, can I release this? I mean, common decency would have been nice, but yeah, it sucks that she's lost her job, but you have to take. There are consequences for doing these actions, right?
Yeah, like the motive was like I get it. You actually enjoyed working from this location, like, and you got to enjoy the customers that came around. It's like one of the few things where in a customer service job, when you get to be like that local person, like, oh, hey, good to see you. There people are shopping. You learn people's names. It can just go away really quick, because I'm guessing this is just a part-time job to go through college, right? That's what it says, right?
I guess I didn't. She didn't say that part, but she said she was a criminal major. I just assumed that she graduated and she hasn't gotten a job in her field yet.
Okay, let's see what else does she have to say.
He's been there before. We did report him a week prior to him shoplifting that day. That was May 11th. So that was the second time I seen him. I feel like I had the right to go after him, but I mean, it was in terms of termination. But
when you say the right to go after him, like what? Like
at least to go retrieve it. Like, I asked him to stop prior to not come back. He said, don't. I told him, don't come back. And then he just like FUB. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to catch you next time. I warned him. Like, I told him, if you come back, I'm going to catch you next time. And so I did. My thought process was like, go after him, tell him to stop, give me the stuff back. So I drove by alongside of him. I asked him twice. I said, give me the stuff back. Like, that, stop robbing the store. Can you please give me the stuff back? He said, stop messing with my life. You don't know me. Get away from, like, no, I'm not going to give you the stuff back. So I asked him twice and he said, no, FUB, FUB, you don't know my life. So I'm like, okay, we just kept continuing to go down the street. And like, I pulled up past him and I stopped very fast and I stopped on my brakes and I was in no movement whatsoever in my car when I pulled up in front of him. Like, I guess he just couldn't see like that he could stop because he had a basket pole on top of the handles. So he just ran right into my car.
Okay, so there's the other discussion. It's like people are saying that she ran over the shoplifter. Her statement is saying that as she was trying to talk with this individual, as she was riding along like on the side of him while on the streets, and she was just trying to tell him, hey, stop stealing, give the stuff back. And then she kind of just after communications were not part of it, she just kind of pulled over and from her statement, it sounds like she pulled over in front of the vehicle, stopped. There was up to her quote her, there was no motion, and the bicyclist, the thief, hit her. So there's gonna be all just like, you know, if it goes to court or something, it's gonna be one of those things like there is camera footage, luckily, but you know, it's to each their own at this point. You know, we're not lawyers here. We're not gonna be the ones judging here. At the end of the day, like you said earlier, like this incident, it sucks. People are struggling, you know. It's really hard when, one, from the thief's perspective, we don't know their situation, and you know, it's tough to just buy groceries every day.
Yeah, except there's like pantries like all over cities. It doesn't matter what
True.
city you're in. I mean, my mom works for one. There's one literally like a couple towns over. There's another one. Like there is pantries everywhere if you just look for them. I mean, give them people resources, but if again, will those people want to utilize those resources?
That's true. And then for Jesse's thing, it's like, I'm in the opinion that she should not have gone, or like it's not worth it. It wasn't worth it.
No,
Like
exactly.
this was just a like I said earlier, the motive was right, the thought behind it was right. It's not worth it. Not for some silly Dollar General goods. Losing your job over that is not worth it. Mostly when she's stated earlier that she's kind of just living out of her car, and like in this economy, she might end up being the next thief, just becoming what she hated worst.
Speaking of cameras, should we go into the next one?
Yeah.
Car.
Oh yeah. There it is. There we go. So there was a viral video that shows a car driven by a Tallahassee woman who's flying into the air after going up a tow truck ramp. So basically, it's like Dukes of Hazzard levels.
Exactly.
Let's just listen to this, guys. Audio's not. Car soars through the air in spectacular Georgia wreck.
So crazy. Cameras. And that was on a cop's camera. You can tell by the action of the video running. Crazy shit.
Ooh, okay, so it looked like the scene from a Hollywood blockbuster. A sedan rockets into the air after driving up a ramp of a flatbed tow truck on the Georgia highway. The whole crash is caught on video by the officer's body camera. Shocked motorists and law enforcement watched in horror as the Nissan Altima was launched 120 feet or 37 meters down the highway. Oh wow, that flew for a while. You could see it, but you know, looking at it. According to police report on May 24th, Georgia State Police Patrol Post number 31 Sergeant Raul Mia, something like that, confirmed the driver was 21-year-old woman from Tallahassee, Florida. According to WCTV, she was taken to South Georgia Medical Center with serious injuries. Georgia State Patrol spokesperson Courtney Floyd said Wednesday. After landing upside down, the Nissan struck another car that tumbled end over before coming to rest 23 feet down the road. The report says even before the car stops, the officer whose body cam recorded the crash began sprinting towards to render aid to the stricken motorist. Anything else in here? Nothing else more. But yeah, it is wild to see literally a Dukes of Hazzard style crash just happening here.
I know, it's crazy. That was like perfect timing, perfect place to have your body cam especially on, and
Perfect for the viewers, but not for the whoever was in the tow driver, or for the person who was driving on the side, just driving. Dude, that's one of the few things is that it's just you just never know. You just never know on the road what happened. Actually, the other day when I was driving home from work, like there was an entire couch sitting in the middle of the road.
Oh fuck!
So I had to like swerve out of the way, or like a bunch of us, our vehicles in the road, just swerve like into the middle, like mid lane, and go around it. But yeah, it was an entire like sectional just sitting in the middle of the road. I'm like, whoa. And
the people who dropped that off their damn car didn't go stop and like.
They probably never noticed it because we kept driving down the road to see if like there was a car pulled over or something, like they're like missed something, because it's happened to us sometimes when we were carrying like drywall, and it would one time it got loose a little bit and we lost one and the board fell and broke into pieces of the highway. That was a fun cleanup job. But like I said, that one you have to really be careful because on busy highways, like, yeah, luckily there was like 2 other bystanders that came over to help during the drywall incident. But overall, it's like if you're not paying attention on the road, like, like if I wasn't like actively like paying attention, I could have hit that sectional and boom, damaged my car. That's reasonably.
And you guys will all be in the hospital for some injuries, concussions.
Not that bad.
Concussions. Come on, God.
I don't think so. Like, I would be fine. Remember, I don't get hurt in car accidents. I'm perfectly fine. My passengers do. I don't.
Oh shit! I don't want to be driving in this car now. You said all the passengers get hurt. I don't want to be hurt.
You know that. I did not. Yeah, everyone's.
I haven't been hurt in your car yet. Maybe I should.
No, but we haven't been in an accident together. See? If I'm in an accident,
my angels are telling me not to get hurt. They're the ones watching over me.
Okay, but anyways, yeah, it's one of those things. It's like be there moments. Like I've thought of doing that with a car, but it's not like I'm not gonna do it. Like it's not worth. One, destroying your vehicle, putting your life at risk for a stupid stunt like that. Because there are stunt performers that do that, but they are like trained people who are like put in those moments for these scenes that are like choreographed. For some random 20-year-old to just do this, like I did wild things in my 20s in vehicles, but nothing that crazy. Not like
no. Yeah.
I think the most I did were donuts. Yeah, I think that's the most we did. We did donuts while riding around while some people left the door open in their things. I think that's the most dangerous thing kind of thing considering.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Nope, I haven't really done. I blew a red light just for shits and giggles, so I could say that.
Oh my god! Look at Liz. She's blowing red lights. How?
Just one. I blew one.
She's a wild child.
Nobody was injured. Nobody was crossing. Nobody was driving. It was perfect.
Then it ended, like good things always do.
Huh? Well, yeah, but nice things can't last forever.
That's exactly it. Are the best parts of life really
What's
just finding
next?
momentary? Then it ended, like good. Then it ended.
You hear me?
Like
yeah.
Okay. Should we go to the? Which one do you want to do next?
Give me a second.
The gamble.
Yeah, let's see why we're losing even more money, Liz. Let's talk about just losing money.
All right. Why you're losing more money? More to casinos at the Las Vegas Strip.
When was the last time you went to Vegas?
Actually, what was it? 2022.
Like 2021.
No, 2021. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, I went with my mom. It was my mom does an annual trip with the girls. My mom's one of the last existing aunts of the nine siblings, so she goes with some of her nieces. Some of her nieces are a little older than her, hence being the last of 9, you're gonna have older nieces and nephews. So she goes, and I went with my mom. I paid a little bit, I won a little bit, so it was all good. It worked out. But when I did get to play, I didn't get to play often, so I had my kid around. So, and the casinos are not nice to kiddos. Couldn't even cash my $100 bill to break it down into 20s to make it easier for me to go play.
Damn.
She was on the walkway. My distant cousin was with us, who had from Arizona, and had joined us. She was watching my kiddo, and they're like, "Well, she's right here. She just wanted to do this real quick." Like, it was like a 2-minute transaction. Well, she can't walk this way. I'm like, I couldn't grab a drink without Ursula being like 500 feet away from the bar. I'm like, really? This is how kids will get kidnapped, and you guys are posting this shit.
That
happens every day.
That's kind of true.
Well,
I can see why, because it makes sense, because Vegas for the most part is like an indulgence.
She was like, yeah, but she was like, I had her pushed like she was still within arm reach of me, so if I could turn around and grab her if I needed to, but not all the way across the freaking lobby. Literally felt like.
Bruh.
Liz, are you trying to tell casinos how to run their establishments?
It wasn't near anywhere in the alcohol. I'm just saying, she was still in arm's reach, but not that far. That was like, I was literally doing this the whole time, like I couldn't focus, and they were asking questions, and I was like, I don't know, trying to watch the kid. Like, Jesus, I'm more focused on my kid than I am. I can't even a fucking drink.
Fun.
No. Okay, so back to the headlined it. Sorry. Gambling companies shift better further in their favor, raising minimums at blackjack tables and tipping the odds in roulette. Oh, of course, I'm not a part of this article. I can't read it.
Here, give me a second.
Can't read it because I have to have a subscription. I don't have WSJ.
Well, you can always look it up or find another site that does.
Okay.
So let's see here. It says here. Oh, okay, the mint is. Business Insider. Let's see here. Las Vegas casinos are charging visitors more to gamble while also decreasing their chances of winning. Minimum bets to play blackjacks are higher, while payouts for winning hands are lower. Placing bets from roulettes is riskier on Las Vegas strips, according to the Wall Street Journal. Casinos execs say that it's all part of their plan to attract high-value customers. You're bringing the high-value customers. We're already full. Tom Reggie of Caesar Entertainment CEO told Wall Street analysts. So you're kicking on the lowest end. I see no reason that that needs to stop or would stop. That's how it's written on here. Losses for blackjack players reached the highest they've ever been since 2007. At nearly $1 billion on the strip in 2022. The per data from the Nevada Gaming Control Board, people are figuring out something's wrong, but it's not just the obvious what it is. Former professional poker player John Maffey told Wall Street Journal, according to the data compiled, John and his wife Kristen, over 2/3 of blackjack tables on the strip have shifted from 3 to 2 payouts to 65. Tables that pay out at 65 give the winning gambler $12 for every 10 bet, as opposed to 15 in a 3 to 2. Oh god, that's horrible.
Sounds like you lose more money.
Yeah, so that's the point. That's the point. It's like it's a mix of that because it's bad everywhere, but you gotta make cuts here and there, and it sounds like casinos are just like trying to squeeze every little penny. Like it's like not that they weren't doing it before, but they're just doing it even more now,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Not a single fuck was given this day.
and it's I get it when you go to Vegas. For the most part, you go for the shows, you go for the entertainment and
Ambiance.
and the ambiance, and then if you want to throw money away, literally, I'm not saying win money, throw money away. You go there to throw money away, and if you win something, that's good, but if you don't expect to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things. There's like we're planning a trip to Vegas next year, and like I know that if I go, I'm gonna take like basically what do they call it? What do they call it?
Insurance?
No, what insurance? What do you mean insurance?
Like game? Like I don't know.
What it's when you have a certain amount of money you're gonna spend. I forget what it's called. Like a limit, but I forget. There's a name for it.
Spending limit. Yeah, spend
Yes, but there's another term. But anyways, what I'm
it.
gonna.
Gap out.
But anyways, going back, it's one of those few things where like everyone's planning and everything to spend like it's a 3-night thing, 4 days, 3 nights, and for sure it's gonna be a lot of shows, a lot of walking around and stuff like that. But for sure there's gonna be gambling to say the least, right? So I'm already planning ahead. You said, yeah, this is all I'm gonna spend. I'm not gonna go crazy and spend X amount of money.
Yeah.
Because some of the people I know have lost on one trip like $3,000.
He was $3,000 to get rid of. Fuck.
Trust me, you'll be surprised. And it's like I get it. It's fun, lights are pretty and everything, but it's you just kind of have to be smart about it and things like that. But then when this is where it gets tricky, when you're seeing, because it is fun when you win. I won't deny that. It's fun to win. But it's even less fun when you're not winning as much as it used to be. And that's what it seems like more and more. What's your game of choice if you're playing anything? Slots, cards?
I'm a slotter. Yeah, I like slots.
Just simple, like...
Yeah, I like the fun ones. Like, what was the last one I played? I thought it was fun. No, it wasn't Wizard of Oz. I don't remember what it was, but it was a fun one. It was just had like multiple screens and multiple chances of winning and higher, chances of winning too. So I liked it. I can't remember. It was like 3 screens up, so like I had to look up all the time. So it was fun. I enjoyed it. I can't remember. I like those fun ones that are a little bit more intricate, a little bit like, oh, extra bonuses. Here's this bonus, that kind of thing. So I have better luck on slots than most playing cards or Russian roulette. Literally now, Russian roulette is like the worst to do.
Wait, who's playing Russian roulette? It's just roulette.
Oh, roulette. I'm a roulette. I don't know.
Roulette's fun if you just want to do a fun, quick one. If you just want to do it once, and unless you really want to do like 50 on a number or like 25 on red or black, kind of really what you would do. You don't. I could not imagine myself being someone who would sit at a roulette table for like an hour or two and just do that. I could do like maybe 1, 2, 3 rolls, and I'm kind of related because what I like about like games like poker and blackjack is you have a little bit more control on what you're doing. With blackjack you can hit or fold. Same with with blackjack you can kind of decide if you're gonna continue or not. With slot machines, it has a little bit more of that's randomness, but it's still like it's just fun because depending on the slot machines, there's some fun gimmicky ones that look pretty. They're kind of just meant to attract you. But like, but it's sometimes so depressing when you see those people who spend hours at a slot machine, just like I was here.
I really don't spend a lot of hours. My mom does. I mean, but she can have fun for, spend $20 and be for X amount of hours, So she can play for a long time on such a small amount of money. She go up and down all the time, but she has fun with it. That's her prerogative. It's all good. I enjoy it too occasionally, but I don't go often. I don't spend money that often either on gambling. So.
You know what we should do? We should make a video going to our local casino.
Yeah, they can't have video, right?
Shh.
Body cam it. Body cam it. Sorry. I have my massage. I can feel all the tender parts.
Oh yeah, that's kind of really it for the story. It just sounds like the casinos are just like trying to make more money, just trying to steal. Steal's a hard word. Like gain as much money as possible. Because then the casino aren't really stealing it. It's the people giving them the money.
They're winning the money, not us.
Exactly. Any final thoughts on this?
Be careful. Beware. And maybe play off the strip. Old Town. Who knows?
Okay, let's see here. Well, let me see. I'm looking at what we're on. Okay, we're kind of getting towards the end. Let's just jump into our Am I the Ass?
Okay.
But like I said, everyone, don't forget to subscribe or follow if you're listening to this on Spotify or any podcasting platform. If you're watching this on YouTube, actually, if you're watching this on Spotify, thank you, because now we have video on Spotify now too. So if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, thank you for seeing our lovely faces. But if you're listening to us, even on like anything, like thank you as well. Because we're on like Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I think we're almost about everywhere. So thank you for listening. Like I said, share this. Word of mouth helps us a lot. And don't forget to pick up, like I said, you have 48 hours to pick up our first inspirational shirt before it leaves. And then on June, what did I say? June
18th.
18th will be the release of our second inspirational shirt of the year. But yeah, anything else to add to that?
Nope. I think we are good.
Okay.
I think we're ahead of it.
All right, go ahead and read the...
What was the number on the die?
Number 4.
All right. All right, I'm opening up, guys. I swear. Just takes a second.
Bruh.
Am I the asshole for canceling the entire vacation when I found out my stepdaughters deliberately hid my daughter's passport to get her to stay home? I think I've heard this one. You do this one? This sounds familiar. Awfully familiar.
It's from the day of this posting. It was 6 days ago.
I feel like I've heard this one.
Maybe it happens more than you think.
Maybe. I've been married to my wife, Beth, for 5 years. And I have a bio daughter named Jessica. She's 18. And I have 2 stepdaughters named Monica and Leah. They're 25 and 28. Both are single mom and live with us currently. There have been issues about my stepdaughters asking my daughter to babysit the kids. Jessica didn't have a problem with it at first, since this was she does to earn money, but since she stepdaughters don't pay her much, she just refused to babysit. We worked out this by having my wife take care of her paying for the babysitting. Planned a family vacation for 3 days, and everyone wanted to go. However, both Monica and Leah suggested that Jessica stay home and watch the kids, since Beth doesn't want her grandkids to come. They said it's because the kids are used to Jessica, and hiring another babysitter would cause issues. I also said that Jessica isn't too fond of our destination, but it was obvious that Jessica wanted to go. Insisted, and Beth offered to pay her double, and there was just a lot of back and forth on this till I demanded they stop bringing it up. We were supposed to go last week, but when everybody had bagged their bags and was time to go, Jessica found out that she didn't have her passport on her. We searched her bag and then went home and searched there. Beth and my stepkids kept insisting that we went back to the that we go back to the airport or we just miss our flight. They insisted that Jessica stay at home with the kids. They even told the new babysitter to go home because she was no longer needed. I refused to go and kept searching for the password until Monica admitted that she helped Leah hide Jessica's passport to get her to stay home with the kids. I was livid. I tried to get her to tell me where it was, but Leah denied, so I threatened to cancel the vacation. That's when they gave it back. I decided actually to cancel the vacation, blew at both of them, and berated them. They stayed upstairs for a while, and Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for work. I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to stay with someone they know. I got told I overreacted and ruined the trip for everybody.
Well,
Okay.
that is stupid.
Yeah. Jessica is just as much as part of the family as those girls. Beth and Leah and whatever the hell the other girl.
Monica and Leah. Beth was the wife.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, Monica and Leah are just part of the family as much as Beth is Jessica. So she should be a part of the family too for a family trip. These women are 25 and 28, almost, too much, live their lives. So what? You have responsibilities. Yes, you can leave them with somebody else. Kids will adjust. They always do. The fact that they hid their stepsister's passport was shitty, lowball, childish.
Not a single
Very
fuck was
childish.
given
That
this
is like
day.
assholes. They're the assholes. They could have had a nice trip had they just left it alone. They weren't paying for really much of any expenses. It sounded like they were getting a free ride. What the hell? Just leave it alone. Jessica is just as much a part of the family as those two girls. I feel like this is a Cinderella effect, you know?
Yeah, I was literally thinking Cinderella. I was about to say that.
Right? It's a Cinderella thing. Well.
Oh, they all live together. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the edit.
But yeah. Yeah.
So this is an awkward situation for sure. They are definitely the asshole. They're like, you can't. The second you hit someone's passport, that's too far. Like a trip is planned to go as a family. Understandable.
As a family.
And understandable.
Without kids, which is totally
like if possible, and that's what you're willing to do it, right? You're not able to do it, that sucks. Like you just deal with it at that point. It's just them just kind of forcing themselves kind of pass their kids off to their younger siblings. And I've seen this before where it doesn't seem like the significant others to the other daughters are around from what it's on. Both are single moms, yeah. So they're trying to get some level of independence, but once
I get it. I understand.
I think
I'm a single mom, but I also know where my limits are. I can only do so much, like out and having fun. Like I know where my limits are at.
Yeah, you're gonna testify to that, right? You know what you can do and what you can't do, but sometimes people aren't like you, and people like say it's like, no, I can do whatever I want. I know there's been people in our friends groups that still do wild stuff and kind of just leave kids around and just still do things like if they didn't have
responsibility. Children are your responsibility. You take care of them. I take care of my kiddo. I love my kiddo. Yes, I have couple days out of the month that I go and do some fun things or plan it when she's in school, so that way I have my fun without leaving her as a burden to somebody else. Like I am kind of doing it to the school, but the school doesn't know.
I think schools are established to get rid of kids, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, it's there's seems to be a lot. It's just like there has to be more of establishment things about the housing, how things are dealt with, because it sounds like the husband and wife, like, they have some understanding. Wait, what did the wife say anything specifically? Upstairs, well, Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to. So
that's bullshit. Jessica's part of the family. That doesn't matter. Your significant other's kid still matters. It's still part of the family.
Yeah, at that point, it's
he
like
paid for the trip. He brings who he wants to bring. Just as plain and simple. It's written, like, literally. Why can't anybody see that writing? Like, he paid for the trip. He gets to bring whoever he wants to freaking bring. And offer to pay for.
I don't think he paid for it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just the overall.
I thought I said it, Dad. Okay, my bad.
It didn't say that, but it just the principle of, like, someone shouldn't be forced not to go on a trip just because you want them to take care of kids, pets, or take care of the house. You shouldn't be the one forcing it on an individual by one physically hiding a form of identification.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Pretty fucked up. Like, imagine if that happened to you. Your guys are ready to go on your trip to, well, I forget where you're going, but you're going on your trip.
Ireland.
Yeah, you're going to Ireland, and you're getting all your stuff, and then because one of your siblings doesn't want you and your daughter to go, they just hide your stuff. And it's like the day of the trip. Imagine that.
Somebody was getting a beating. That's all I'm gonna say. Beat the shit out of somebody.
Or imagine if she did hide it. Like, I don't want to go. Your daughter hides the passport. Like, oh, I'll help you, Mom. Never. That would be hilarious.
She doesn't know where it is, so we're good.
Make sure she never does. But yeah,
Nice.
these guys were the daughters were the assholes. They kind of literally have to grow up at this point because they were acting like
Children.
basically children. Like, yeah, you need to take care of it.
Children are raising children. That is. Welcome to society. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, no, that's been a thing for the last 20 years. So nothing. So I'm not. You know what's funny? I'm not too surprised about this incident. It's disappointing, but it is what it is. It is what it is.
Exactly.
Oh, you want to also learn a random fact that I learned just the other day?
Sure. What is that?
So, if you're in a room with people, can you guess if I here, let me get you the numbers. And it was where it was.
Spit it out. Spit it out. That's what she said. There you
Okay.
go.
So, what do you think a person from the age of 18 to 45, I'm going to give you the 4 different percentage that more likely to be shot and murdered in America. So, is it 9%, 12%, 15%, or 19%?
15%.
Which one?
15.
It's actually 19%. So, if you're in a room with 5 people, 1 in 5 of you will be shot dead. So next time you're in a room full of people, 1 in 5 of you.
I'm not coming to your house.
Yeah, so that's what the recent studies tell you, that there's a 90% chance of an American. I'm gonna say American because that's what it says. A person in America will die from a gunshot.
Crazy shit.
I love that. Random fact of the day. 1 in 5. Like those old
Speaking
ones.
of which, today is National Donut Day. Happy National Donut Day.
Not the day of the release of this episode.
No, not the release of the episode.
You gotta remember that, Liz. You gotta keep that in mind.
I know, I gotta keep ahead.
So, okay, everyone. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, if you want to listen to our review of Spider-Verse, check that on
Like
Reaction
his
Cast.
review. I just enjoyed it.
You just enjoyed it. I'll let you guys go and listen to that. It should be out already. And like I said, follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, or just follow us on all podcasting platforms. Word of mouth really helps a lot. You know, share this on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anywhere. Oh, Twitter is kind of a mess right now, but TikTok, yeah, TikTok, share clips.
It looks like it hasn't been banned yet. We're so good, guys.
So, and then, yeah, don't forget, like I said, you have 48 hours to get your Series 1 inspirational shirt before it goes out. And then on June 12th, I said? Fuck, I always forget. I should have this job. Yeah, June 18th should be the second one to release for the year. Second one of 3 for 2023. And actually, I think that's around the time the new season of the show. You'll hear a new intro and a bunch of fun stuff. But yeah. So, any final words, Liz?
Just follow us. We need the views, babe. We need the views.
All right then, everyone. Thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time. See ya.
Bye.
I swear that I will never leave you. Fingers crossed, I swear that I will never